Welcome back to the OTT in Cape York. Heading into day 2. Apart from having already seen Palm Creek and a few creek crossings,
I'm not doing that.
they were fun.
Yeah, keep going. I'm going left, yeah.
I'm still waiting for the teletrack to show me what all the fuss is about.
Pretty bored, I gotta say.
It's only been open for 2 weeks after a very wet season, so I'm expecting something rough, unpredictable, and still changing.
That's no longer an option.
But with the crowd starting to catch up, Cape York could also be about to become exactly what I spent 25 years avoiding. Well, I guess we'll just have to roll with it.
What is it they say in the far north Queensland? You! I reckon today's going to be a big day, so yeah, I feel like we're going to have to cover some good ground because going from last night, I don't think driving at night's a good idea here.
No, not at all. Well, we have to start driving day number 2. I can see Ronny enjoying it, which is good.
You alright?
And now you can see why probably he's enjoying it.
Since this track opened only 2 weeks ago, many trees which fell through the wet season are yet to be cleared.
It's just an easy tree to move. I can see there's a new track cut around it, but if it's easy to move, why not?
1, 2, 3.
I just find it funny how that there took 2 minutes to move. This would have taken longer to go around, I reckon.
But you know what they say?
What?
Easy is better.
But that's not easy. That's easy.
That's easy. That's not easy. Heading up to the next creek.
With the track quite overgrown, progress is slow. And to be honest, there's not a great deal to see.
There's a tree inside that termite mound, I think. Wow. No, is it?
Thankfully, these massive termite mounds breaks up the boredom.
It's pretty big. Used to seeing the big sort of round ones, still taller than a human. I have seen some similar up in the Kimberley region. It's got to be this tropical kind of climate. Very impressive. This is a very simple section on the track and it's something we're going to come across almost the entire way, I'd say. Washout ruts. If you're driving the edge, you could risk slipping the whole vehicle in. And some people have done that. You can see here, there's some diff marks from someone who's put the car in the hole. But in saying that,
These water washouts are not very deep and shouldn't provide too much of an issue. However, for demonstration purposes, this is what it looks like when you're driving along the edge.
and you can probably see how close I need to get to these trees.
There's not a lot of room.
And don't forget, I've got mud tyres as well and they're quite fat.
And you'll find yourself needing to cross over.
Like so. Right, so now I'm straddling.
However, there is another way you can do this, and that's the way Raph is going to drive it.
So I decided to go this way because I consider this one an easiest way. So you try to keep your car as horizontal as you can. That way there is less chance of damage anything or making a mistake.
And it's not just a case of avoiding mistakes, it's also understanding your vehicle's limitations.
Ronny have an advantage on this car.
What Rafa is referring to are those stiff leaf backs on a 70 series.
The Ineos have an advantage on this car, which is the coils. So that's why also I choose that line because he can flex more than me.
Later on, we are likely to encounter somewhere where these methods are required.
This is my 3rd time doing this track, but every time that I've done it, it's completely different. And this season we have a very wet season.
The amount of fallen trees we've had to bypass so far, it really shows how much effect a wet season has on this track. The fallen trees really highlights where the quartermaster struggles due to its length and turning circle.
It's a bit tight up here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's gonna be tight for a bloody Grenadier.
And it's tight enough for Rafa in his 70 series. But with a turning circle even worse than that, it definitely takes some care to thread the quartermaster through these trees. And our next obstacle?
Sidestep tree. Also a good indication that you're near something where you might get stuck and lose stuff on your car. It doesn't seem to be a good choice here. A soft bad choice, there's a long bad choice, and then there's a twisty slop bad choice. So which bad choice should we make?
But I'd rather this than see another fallen tree.
Normally, I will go for the middle line because that's going to be the firmest, it's the most used, but I don't see any tyre tracks going into it, so it's going to have to be walked.
I have rocks in my Crocs. Let's do it, mate. Woo!
Let's grab or turn the fans off, or lock the rear, get that window up. This might get a bit messy.
I've decided to go for the middle twisty option.
Oh, I just missed the tree. Here we go. Whoa. Lock them out.
Well, that's one big chunk of metal across it. One more to go. We push into the afternoon for another long stretch of track.
How far's the next spot, Raf?
3-4K away.
Leaving me with not much to do but to reflect on what I've seen so far.
So, is this sort of what you were expecting from the tele track?
So initially I was expecting it to kind of be like this, kind of very rainforesty. Seeing it from the sky, you could easily get lost out here, very easily. But I guess you're on a peninsula, there's plenty of water around, so your chances of surviving here are far greater than other places in the country.
However, these long stretches of nothing did leave me a little bored.
Hey Ronny, look to your right. There is a pole there.
It is a metal one, yeah. It's open.
It's a metal one.
I'll see an opportunity here.
Here's one of the telegraph poles that were put out here. I believe the first light would have been wooden, but I'm guessing that would have been problematic out here because everything out here is washing. So I'd imagine all that wood, and given all the termite mounds we've seen, it would have just been eaten away, and therefore they would have installed these iron or steel poles in. Hey? Two more.
Let's take this monkey business to the road.
Is this Alice North?
Yeah, that's correct.
Very short, but bit of a hectic drop in where I've lined up anyway.
The Old Telegraph Track certainly has quite a few creek crossings, and most of them are quite shallow. As long as you're paying attention to where you're going.
There we go, we dropped in. Now we've got the river crossing.
Shouldn't be any dramas. But it's the big ones that I'm looking forward to. The ones that challenge your thinking. Earlier, I touched on the disadvantage of the quartermaster having wheels so far apart. But that's lengthways. When you look at it from the back, you can see the quartermaster is much wider than a 70 series, which also gives a great advantage for these ruts.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
You in?
Yeah, I'm in the hole.
The Ineos is a lot wider, so it wasn't really a problem for me, and I probably wouldn't be as confident in a narrower car like the 70.
I'm gonna wait until Ronny spotted me to see where my wheels will go.
Obviously want to avoid a hold up or any damage.
Thing is, if I fall here, I might do some damage to the panels on the side, and definitely don't want to do that.
Keep coming.
Here we go again. But this time, it's not show and tell. It's slow and steady wins the race.
Okay. Now steer that way a little bit as you come over. Yep, now. Yep, keep it there. What we talked about earlier is that straddling. That was a perfect example of it. It might have been okay had you been in it because we're going downhill. But something like that going uphill and you end up in the hole, those water ruts can be deeper than 1.5 meters.
And just a few hundred metres down the track is a perfect example of what I was just talking about.
I dare say that that used to be the track, the one that's completely washed out over there.
Yep, that's it.
We've come across quite a few tracks where it's been completely washed out and there's a new track to the other side of it. It just gives you an idea. I'm 6'1" and I'm nearly swallowed up by this crevice.
Onwards we go, through the grass, over a tree, through a puddle.
So we seem to be at another crossing soon.
I've got to say, I haven't felt quite challenged yet.
A lot of campsites around.
Maybe my expectations are just too high now.
Are we entering the creek now or?
I think so.
Ah, yeah, it's right in front of me. It's a nice change because I was getting pretty bored, I got to say. It's just all sort of muddy swamplands, but starting to elevate my excitement again. Rocky Bottom, rapids. Wow.
Well, do you want to have lunch here?
Actually, that sounds like a pretty damn good idea.
How's this for a lunch spot? I've got the hubs out of the water, so that'll be all right. Hey, Raph, you're bringing that over.
I think if you complain about being right here, right now, you're having a real shitty day. This is bloody awesome.
This is the best spot in Australia I've made wholemeal wraps.
Refreshed, ready for adventure.
That was Dahl Creek. The next creek is called Birdie Creek. We need to utilise our last hour of sun because those holes are pretty big, I've been told. We can't see it. We don't know what we're driving into.
Getting out of Dahl though,
Just watch your roof there, Ralph. Like, there's like a...
maybe this is where things begin to ramp up.
Oh shit, hang on, that's pretty close, eh?
Not just close, it turns out.
Looks like I'm crunching the awning a little bit.
That's what it's made for.
Off it? Yeah. I think the bag might have held up actually. So that's where it's gone on there. Oh, not bad. The bag's definitely damaged, but you know why? I was trying to avoid that. All I could see were these bushes and how high the bushes were, so I couldn't really tell.
One issue down,
What is going on here?
but Dahl
So many tracks going everywhere.
wasn't ready to let us go yet.
That's no longer an option. This is the only option that we can see so far. There's one on the other side that's got like a drop off and some water in it. And this one doesn't look too bad from here. However, if I go down here, it's all loose and it's on an edge. You could end up screwing that little ramp out and then you'd have to rebuild the whole lot again.
Let's see how this goes. Sometimes there's no shame in just testing the waters first. If it feels wrong, stop, hop out, reassess, try again. Easy does it this time with rougher spotting. It definitely felt worse from inside the cab than it did outside.
Now I'm looking at it, I have so much room here. I didn't really see that here. So as you're driving up, you don't actually see this part.
Maybe it's the track,
Yeah, the back wheel.
Yeah.
maybe it's just fatigue. But it seems once we pass Dahl, one obstacle begins to blend into another. And the entry to Birdie Creek looks like it could be a tough one.
Here's the situation. Telegraph Track. Have to go down here, go around.
Yeah, just a quick shot, mate. Just a quick running gun, hey?
Yeah. Yeah, you meant to run and gun, not f*** around.
I didn't know this was They look like rocks, not slop. I'm bogged. I'm really bogged. I got my shoe and it's so deep. The suction, I can't even lift my foot off the ground. I am wiggling it.
Yeah, as you're bringing it up. See how it's all getting all fatty?
Yeah. Now move your hip, Yeah.
Penguin, do the penguin, do the penguin. Oh, far out. Yeah,
Kick it off.
Yep, we're definitely taking the other way down. And that turning circle strikes again. But we get around no problem.
Welcome to Birdie Creek.
And straight after that, Birdie Creek.
So we are in Birdie Creek. This is the highest I have seen this river. It's going fast. It's not a concern, but it's impressive how fast it's going compared to the years before that I've been here.
This current's really strong. If this was any higher or any deeper, you probably shouldn't cross. Like, I'm just holding my ground here.
Lucky it's not deep enough for the current to be an issue, but the holes,
Yeah, big drop-offs.
Yeah.
they're definitely an issue.
If you pretty much get to the end here
Yeah.
and drive straight that way, there is no holes.
And something we need to be mindful of.
Let's straight across there.
But it's time to get across, because once it gets dark, then you're guessing.
Let's move it.
Copy that.
Oi. Hello. Hello, ground. All right. Oh, tanker's going to start turning now.
Copy.
There we go. Even though I know I've got heaps of room, I'm still looking around. Oh, I found a hole at the end there on the right. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you across?
Yeah, behind you.
The sun is disappearing fast and we still don't really know what's up ahead. So we're pushing on, trying to make the most of every bit of light that's left. The last thing we want is something like this catching us out once it's dark. That's erosion right there. So we're driving uphill at the moment and there's just water flowing down. It's not just a little bit either, that's a fair bit of water.
Was it like that last time you came through?
Not at all.
Oh, that's interesting. All this water running down a track is what creates washouts like this.
Gunshot 0.5, I reckon. Look at that.
And the thing is, the water is still flowing. So this will be changing day by day.
Might be another knock on the awning here, I think. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Am I good?
Turn your lights off. Straight. Straight. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. That way. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. Straight.
There we go. First bit. Just when you think you got something easy coming up.
Although you'd imagine a teletrack to be a straight line, it's nothing like it. You gotta weave in and out.
What?
And having to factor in the quartermaster's turning circle,
You have to reverse a little bit and try to get closer to that bank.
but it's rarely that simple.
Yeah, am I not just pushing past it though?
Never mind. Now it's wider for the next person. It's all just part of being early through the teletrack, I guess. Or maybe it's just having a wide car.
I might have to launch here. Hey, nice.
I'm getting a bit carried away here and forgetting what's behind me. We better get rapid through before we completely lose all the light.
That's a nice little surprise, that one. When I come around the corner, probably gave it a bit too much because I thought it was just flat.
But do you know what is no surprise at all?
So, didn't you say about driving these tracks and that?
Here we go. Yeah, I did. Not recommended, but I can't help it.
7:30 p.m. I have never done the Telegraph Track at this time of the day. I'd rather not to, but it wouldn't be a Ronny Dahl video if we don't rock camp at night time.
So, do you get a warning when gunshot comes up, or do you just like drive off the edge at night?
No, it's shrubs and then it's there.
Has anyone ever shown gunshot at night done?
I don't know. I can't recall seeing anyone do it at night time.
Well,
Challenge accepted.
then I should hopefully be able to ramp out. I'm also going to dig a little bit here. Yes.
You're thinking about time?
Oh, time doesn't matter now.
Huh?
And this is all Ronnie's plan.
Yeah.
Oh shit. You remember this day forever.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. But you're gonna drop in tonight or tomorrow?